Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Freak Show podcast. I'm your resident freak and host, Jeff Borschowa. If the term freak bothers you, you're probably not meant to be here. But for deep context, that was a term I heard a lot growing up because I'm weird. I have several neurodiverse spectrums at play. And so this is me coming out to play full on. And my entire goal for the show is to help others like me realize that we're not broken, we're just different. And in today's episode, it's part 2 of a 10-part series. Yesterday, in our last one, we talked about the big picture. Today, we're going to talk about adaptive self. So these are part of the 10 driven traits series. And driven is a term that I have learned and I'm studying, I'm absorbing, and I'm welcoming. And I want to thank the fabulous Dr. Doug Brackmann for creating it. So these 10 driven traits are Dr. Doug's. I am just sharing my thoughts on them and how they've impacted me. Now, if you want to find out for yourself whether you're driven or not, first thing is if you suspect you're driven because you're not normal, you're extra in a lot of ways, you have lots of ideas, you have lots of energy, you have lots of trouble fitting in with normal populations, you're probably one of us. Go to iamdriven.com/assessment and you will get your own little report. If you are driven, it will tell you exactly what the 10 driven traits are, and it will give you some insights that I won't cover in detail here. But Dr. Doug's approach to this is brilliant. He wants to show us what makes us unique, and he wants to show us how we can identify when these unique skills or gifts are a blessing or a curse. So the adaptive self, I have experienced this myself, and really, truly, the nickname is blending in. And basically, what we do without thinking about it, so this is not acting a part, we become a part. So if we need to be a certain way in a certain room to fit in, we become that. Now, this works well when we're trying to survive and we're trying to fit in. It can be crushing when we're trying to figure out who we are and what we're meant to do. So Dr. Doug called this situational identity, and it's the ability to fit into whatever situation we find ourselves in. You can be whoever we need to be, like a chameleon. We can change our personality to match our surroundings. It's important to note that this isn't an actor pretending to be someone. It is actually becoming a different person. Now, for me, this was a curse for many, many years because I didn't know I was doing it. I would naturally fit into a room and I had no idea how much energy I was spending to become different people. And then when I'd come back to myself and I'd be alone, I didn't know who I was. So it is a blessing when we can build relationships with others, we can reduce friction and discord and create harmony within groups. It's a powerful trait in situations like sales, where building rapport is a prerequisite for success. I hear this a lot. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I feel so comfortable talking to you. It's because I'm the mirror that they need in that moment. Now, when it's a curse, we are suppressing our own identity in favor of the identity we're adopting. So the bigger the suppression, the bigger the identity drift, the more friction and stress we carry. So we can find ourselves in unhealthy situations, unhealthy relationships. We may end up in areas where there's a mismatch with our values, our beliefs. We might even feel like we're losing our minds because we literally are. And sometimes what happens is we wake up, look in the mirror, we've been fitting in for so long, we don't recognize who we've become. And This is also another curse, is we can move from role to role so rapidly and so completely that we actually genuinely forget who we are. Now, this, I believe, is what makes some of the world's greatest actors great, is that they have this adaptive self. What happens, though, you will see there's overdose, drug addiction, suicide. A lot of that is because they don't know who they are anymore and they've lost their home base. So we can end up trapped in a life we don't really want, or we can feel like an imposter in our own lives. And we worry about being unmasked or exposed. So adaptive self is a highly, highly powerful tool, and it can be a very dangerous weapon. And sadly, we're the ones who use it. We can use it against ourselves, or we can use it for the benefit of ourselves. So as I've been doing meditation, breath work, I'm getting clearer and clearer and clearer on who I am, which means I'm setting some boundaries. It means I am pushing some people out of my life who don't belong here. And the amazing thing, and this is why I want to share it, is it's allowing space for the people who truly belong in my life to come into it. So by being clear and using the adaptive self as a tool with intention, we can welcome in the people into our world who actually belong here. The term I use, I call it unmasking. I have actually deliberately and intentionally chosen my business world. I've recreated it so that I only work with people that I can be completely unmasked in front of. And I have to say, we've moved faster and further, quicker because of it. And I have zero friction because I don't have to adjust who I am to be in a room with the people that I'm meant to be in the room with. So all I would say to you is look at the rooms you're in, look at the people you're spending time with, look at your relationships, and do they bring you energy or do they drain your energy? And that's generally a sign. If they bring you energy, it's because you're being yourself and you can flourish. If they're draining your energy, it's usually the act of holding ourselves in and masking that is exhausting and draining. So look at the relationships and ask yourself, is this a relationship that is supporting who I am, or is it a relationship I have to adapt to be in? And I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not giving you life advice. I'm just saying, ask yourself, if a relationship is draining me, is it worth being in, or is it worth, and if it is worth being in, can I change it? Can I make it better so that it works for me? Now, one thing I will say is never fully unmask right out of the gate with somebody. You need to test the waters and you need to see how much, it's going to sound harsh, but how much of you they can actually handle. I generally, when I'm out and about in the world can handle about 10%. When I go full on me, like I do with the podcast, The Freak Show, I repel people quickly. Nothing against them, nothing against me. It's just I have opinions and I express them and I see patterns people don't always want to see or to understand. So, thank you. That was our little discussion today about adaptive self. In the next episode, we will talk about one of my favorite driven traits, hyper focus. See you next time.